going to start with the girls' presentations, and then my class, and then we'll go from there. So, freshman class this year. If when I call your name, if you'll just come up here, just stay up here for a few minutes. Brinley Maples. Ainsley Wendell. Emily Levette. Kaylee Ennis. Michelle Wolfrey. Legacy McNeil. Callie Castor. And Brooklyn Baker. Oh, Amy Swanson. Hey, this is tough because I know this is a really talented group of kids just as a whole, and so a group of kids coming in. I know there was a little bit of frustration with some of them, like trying to find where you fit in and like where your place is and all of that stuff, and just finding however you can contribute when it's needed and where it's needed, and. We have been blessed to have a very talented group constantly coming in year after year after year. And it's not easy to be the kid who usually always gets to play and not be. And I know that comes with, and we've had to talk about that a few times, I know that comes with some frustration and stuff. But that's something that you have to deal with for your life. Like, there's times when you go in and you aren't it right at that moment. And you have to find your place and how you can contribute and how you can help and all those things. And these kids did a really good job of doing that. Brinley is not allowed to stand behind me in a dugout because I have really good hearing and Brinley's really loud. So I would sit on my bucket and Brinley would start, I was like, nope. You can't stay by me. And she's like, I'm over here. No, you have to stand way over there. Like, you cannot do that. But when I would turn around from third base and look in the dugout, like, our dugout was insane. And I know you guys couldn't always see them or hear them. There were, like, I've had one of the worst headaches I've ever had leaving the first day of the state tournament. I couldn't, just from the volume that was coming out of there. And some of these people were the main contributors of that noise. So I'm glad they got the taste of what this feels like and that they will be able to carry that tradition on. But I was really proud of them for what they came in, what they did, in whatever role we asked them to, and some of them playing positions that they might not normally play. But just coming in and being a contributor to the program. So, your freshman class this year. Brinley has something to say.
Yeah, Brinley, tell me your name.
Hi, I was a player on JV and varsity, and I had so many really amazing memories with both teams. Some of my favorite were us all sitting in the locker room and talking about drama with the cheerleaders, and it's mine. Okay. And us, basically, and us blasting music in the cages, waiting for our turn, and Coach Price pitching and almost hitting us a lot.
Amen.
And the bus rides, I actually had some of my best naps on my bus this morning. And I was listening to Jesus music on the way to Tuesday. And okay, these next two things are for Michaela and Nevaeh. Okay, Nevaeh, I'm going to miss you so much next year, and I'm going to have a really hard time trying to find someone to pick up with next year. And Michaela, I wish you really didn't have to leave, because now I won't have anybody to tell me whenever I screw up or to hate on me all the time. And to win state. Okay. And winning state was probably the best feeling I had all year. I know I didn't get to play much in state, but getting to cheer y'all on made me so happy, and I'm super happy that I get to spend at least 3 more years with most of y'all. So,
Say it.
okay, sophomores. Emma Game Day Swearingen. Aisha Christian.
Aisha.
Aisha's here. That's what Aisha says every time she walks in the room. Aisha's here. Okay, we can start now. Aisha's here. Clara Scott.
Swaggy Staggy.
Chella, good to see you. Oh, sorry. Lana Pigeon. Grace Hodgson. Is Taylor here? No. And Taylor Townley, he's one of the managers. This is one of our smaller classes, but big contributors to our program. This group does things and works really hard, does all the little things, stepped up in big moments for us, very big moments sometimes. Aisha, I think, finished the last or 2 of the games with a out in center field. Clara was defending missiles over at third base sometimes. Game day, she bailed on us a little early this year. She decided to have emergency surgery. And Chella stepped in for us in some clutch situations and helped us fill some holes. And we knew we could count on her if there was ever in any situation, whether it was a DP, a pinch hit, second base, third base, whatever we needed her to fill, she just did whatever we asked her to do. So I appreciate this group, and this group is going to be one of the groups to watch for the next couple of years, and I'm excited to get to see that. So, good job, guys.
Let me go do your dance.
So, this is a really special season. See me stop laughing, baby. Caleb, I'm really gonna miss you. Nevaeh, please drive safe. We were going to softball, we were driving to softball in the school, and Nevaeh was going like 50 miles an hour. Sorry, but that's true. Yeah.
Your parents are here.
It's okay. We were saying. Okay, no. Michaela and Nevaeh did a really good job this year leading us, and yeah, we're proud of them. Good luck wherever you guys end up. I love both of y'all. All right, juniors, Wendy Goldie, Elise Wade, Alexa Strider, Emily Reinhardt, Janelle Marwitz, Maddie Lee, Kaylee Gamble, Maddie Amos, Hannah Harrison, Kinsey Monroe, Sarah Emmons, Katie Harberville, Lucy's not here. Lucy. Oh my gosh. This is one of the bigger groups I've ever had come through. They're also probably one of the most talented as a class groups I've ever had. For the number of people that are in it especially. Usually you get a big class, there's a few, and in this class, like, they can all play. At the beginning of the year, when we tried to make lineups, like, because you could pretty much take, out of our 30 kids, you could take pretty much A9, figure something out, and compete with pretty much anybody we were going to play. And that is a awesome feeling, and it's a really hard thing to do. Because it's hard to, when you're picking between little bitty small things, and this group has probably endured in size the longest of any group, because usually they kind of like off at some point in time, and this group, for the most part, has continued on as this group. But these are some big contributors to this program, and I've already been told, I was in 6.5 hours of meetings today, district and region, and I've already been told that they're coming for us next year, that they expect us, that there's no reason we shouldn't win a game, and this group is a big reason why they talk about them like that. And so I'm really proud of this group. I'm proud of what they've done, some changes that they've made. It's one of those things when you come in as a freshman or a sophomore and you're good, sometimes you don't realize that you need to get better, because you get comfortable just being okay. And that was one thing I asked of them this year, is not to be okay with being okay, not to be satisfied with being good, but for them to always push to be better. And that the little things are big things, and that they have to work constantly on the little things. And in this group right here, I saw some big improvements of not just trying to get by with what they're capable of doing in talent, but actually working on their weaknesses and trying to improve. And by playoff time, there were some big adjustments that I don't know if everybody can see, but we can see. Defensively, their mentality is different, and there was a lot of leadership that came out of this group that helped us get all the way to the end. And so I'm really proud of this group and some of the adjustments that they've made over this year, and I look forward to seeing what they're capable of doing next year. So get ready, because you've got a target on your back. Please don't leave, guys. Anyways, I just wanted to say that, you know, we started our journey for the season pretty much in May, and like the day after school ended. And I know none of us appreciated that at all, because you know workouts, they suck. But I do want to say that although we endured so many painful workouts and terrible stuff like that, we really were strong all the way through, and that we didn't ever really give up throughout the season. Even when we were down some games, we came back strong, and we are just a strong team all together. And I'm really proud that I got to be part of this, because it's like memories I will never forget. And I also couldn't be more proud of the people on the team, because they all work so hard and they are happy every single moment. And you know, you really just learn from these people, and I'm just really grateful for all of them in my life. So thank you guys for all the season. LBHO. All right, seniors, Nevaeh Daniel, and Michaela Brooks. This is, I've only had a couple of seniors ever, a couple of times. Shayla was actually one of my other couple of times of two. Yeah, the original. But these two are, Michaela's a kid who's like, she's not gonna let you outwork her. In the weight room, whatever it is she's doing, like she always works hard. She hustles. She was a good, she did a good job leading on the field. But every time, I'll say this, every time she stated what they were wearing, they all had like a comment as to what they were wearing. Like she never, I don't feel like she ever got to pick a uniform all day long. In the group she would say, we're wearing this, and they would say, how about this? And she'd be like, whatever. And then she'd say, we're wearing all black. How about black with red? Okay, whatever. We're wearing, and I was like, oh my gosh, like someone else should just pick, because Michaela's never gonna get to pick what we're wearing. But outside of that, but she did a really good job. And Michaela had missed her sophomore year for an injury, and then came back. And even this year, when there were other kids who played the same position as her, and we rotated her around in and out, she never complained, and just worked at doing other things better, and just constantly working to be out on the field. And I appreciate that, because she recognized that other people were capable of stepping in and contributing. And then Nevaeh, Bambi. Nevaeh does everything fast. Everything's quick, fast, drives fast. She runs, I mean, she's fast. Oh yeah, her parents are here, sorry. I'm listening for a second. We give her a really hard time. But I'm telling you, Nevaeh wasn't on the field, but Nevaeh was just as important not being on the field as she was being in the dugout. And she was one of the loudest people in the dugout, and she was a good teammate. And it didn't keep her from hustling. We were in practice before either regionals or state, and she's out there diving in left field, catching balls. Like, she wasn't just out there just to exist. She was pushing to make people around her better. And I appreciate that. So, we have gifts for you. We have gifts for you. Your bag is purple. You need to open it. We do it every year. This is not a new thing. Yeah.
Just pick it out of the bag.
I knew they were gonna do this to me.
We called her Bambi because when she came out her freshman year, she's just really fast. But like everything was out of control, and they kept saying, she looks like a baby deer out there. She was just like fast and all over the place, and we found this and we couldn't pass it up. First of all, she is cute.
Yeah,
She's cute.
I'm cute.
What else you got?
I got a car.
Fast and Furious car. You're welcome. She's got bubble hair. 11:04.
505.
It's 9. This is from Coach Price. She did a good job on that tape. So when Michaela takes off from home and she rounds first base, Coach Price will be like, I need something to get her back to me because she just keeps going. So she got a fishing pole so she could reel her back in. Because if she ever got thrown out, Coach Price would look at me and go. Every single time. So she was trying to reel you in. Now, I appreciate their contribution to the program, and I know that they will always get to say they were the first senior group who brought home a state championship, and you can't ever take that away from that. So. Okay, so I'm just gonna wing this because that's what y'all did.
I love you.
This was probably the best season we've had and the most memorable because we won state for one. But and for everyone in class, freshmen, y'all are all awesome. Y'all all came in with I'm not saying y'all's names. Y'all all came in with y'all wanted to start. Y'all pushed us, and you really just added talent to this team. Sophomore class. Oh. There's one person in that class. One person in that class. It just comes to mind every time. She has red hair. Every time. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, she's a little Mexican girl. Oh, that class. And then the junior class, Gamble. Freaking love you, man. Great. I love the junior class. Y'all have so much talent. Most of my friends are in the junior class. I'm really gonna miss you guys. I hope you guys find out your senior night. And then Tina Bea, she's the only senior who stuck this out with me and stayed and dealt with so many off seasons and so many seasons with Rowan and stuff. So many seasons. Anyway, so Bea, go ahead.
I don't really know what I'm gonna say, so I'm just gonna wing this. I just want to thank everyone that's been on the team, Rod,
and but I gotta get out of here. It's time to leave. It's been really fun while it lasted. Sophomores, Clara, love you, dude. You're the best. I love each and every one of you. Juniors, thank you for sticking around and being the best unit class that I've ever had in my life. Michaela, thanks for sticking here, bud. And thank you everyone for making this year really memorable. We won state and changing the world. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go through a few things with you and then we'll let you watch a video. I'm going to talk about these people standing up here on the stage with me for a minute. So I got this wild hair this year, which happens every once in a while. And I decided we were going to not play summer league softball and that we were going to focus on working out. You're welcome. So, what we told them, I said there has to be something different than what we've done in the past that's keeping us, because we have plenty of talent and that's not the thing. There has to be something that separates us from everybody else. And in the last off season or so, I saw a handful of these younger kids, a few stand out to me. Aisha getting in the weight room after her freshman year. Clara and Emma and Hannah, those three in particular, really stood out because I saw a lot of just physical transformation in them, and the mental aspect. And so we decided we were going to do this. I don't think they were super pumped about it, but these guys bought in for me first. And so I asked Coach McKay to come in, not for his softball prowess, but so he could work with their footwork, their speed and agility and those things. I asked Coach Price to take over and do circuit training with them. And Sheila didn't exist at that point in time. So Sheila's existed for me for a long time, but she wasn't here yet. But those two in the summer, I just gave it to them, and they just kind of ran with it. And it's the one thing that I felt like we were doing a disservice to our athletes a couple years ago. But it was the first time I gave up this summer for it. Because I said, I feel like we do a disservice to these athletes because they do not have to be in a weight room and not just playing softball, and they do not have to be running, and they do not have to do that work. And when they go to college, that's what you do for the first 9 months before you really touch a softball. You're going to be up at 5 a.m. swimming, you're going to be running, you're going to be in a weight room for hours, you have to be able to do those things. And the mental aspect of it is what I felt like we were missing. The ability to push yourself when you don't think you can do another rep. The ability to go when you're tired. Those kinds of things. And so that's what I asked. And these two did an amazing job. They were up there sometimes at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, did their own workouts before the girls ever got there. They worked on, found as many weaknesses in us as possible and tried to better them. And what we preached to them during May and June was, if you will buy into this and if you will make yourself better, what did we tell you? In October, in the last week, when everybody else starts shutting down, you'll still be able to go. You'll be there in the third game when other people aren't, and you'll be able to finish. And we told them that over and over and over and over again. I think actually Coach McKay gave a really good gung-ho speech right before he jogged out 20 yards, hit the ground, and he said, I think I ruptured my Achilles. And I said, get up. Because we were both like, get off the ground and quit messing around. I'm like, let's go. And he stands up and falls back down, and I was like, oh, maybe this is serious. So we had to go get a gator, and then his foot was hanging like this, his calf muscle was down here, and I was like, yeah, that's not where that's supposed to be. And so we loaded him up, and he disappeared for a month or so. But he had given this like I was ready to go play. Like Hillary and I were like, all right, let's go. He gives this big like finishing speech, and we just have this much more to do, and the last game in the state tournament, and all this stuff, and then so, but they did it, and a little bit reluctantly, some of them did it, and some of them really bought into it and pushed and did it, and I'm hoping that they'll even more so buy into it this year and see that it really will pay off. Because it's not just a physical strength, it's a mental thing. And sometimes the mental thing is what separates you, talent, from other talent. And when it came down to that, they were ready to go still at the end of the season. So I am thankful for this group of people who, when I just decided we're going to just whatever, they just jumped on board. Also, this is my field crew. So you guys don't know how many sprinkler malfunctions we had this year? Well, you know a few because we have that new splash zone on the front of the bleachers. We're going to paint those. You have to pay extra when it's hot to sit there when those sprinklers come on in the middle of the game. So we would show up to the field pretty regularly, almost every day, and it'd be like, there's standing water. So I'm a little bit good. They're really good. We can get some major water off the field and get a field dry and playable in a pretty crazy amount of time. And did that. Give us an hour. Let's just say, give us an hour. Sometimes 3 hours. 3 hours turfus and a sump pump. Mr. Gamble, I might owe you a new sump pump. I got a lot of work and we broke the hose, but we'll figure that out. So we did a lot of field work this year, a lot. And these guys did a really good job. But just doing whatever and doing stuff that I didn't even have to say that needed to be done, and thinking of things and doing. I'm a delegator. I'm not a micromanager really. I'm a delegator. And I just like to be able to give people things and let them go, and I don't want to have to like whatever. I can micromanage, but I like to oversee. So I just give Coach McKay something, I give Price something, give Sheila something, and I can turn them loose, let them go, and not have to like second guess or worry, and I appreciate that. And team building trips, and you wouldn't believe some of the stuff that we have done, experienced, the time that they spend staying up at night, doing stats and reading things and helping me do stuff, and lack of sleep and all kinds of craziness that I appreciate all of you and your time. Some of you less than others, but all of you. Coach Price boos me because Mr. Dumbleton at the games would say, "Hey, Coach, Jenny Rollins." And then he would, Jenny Rollins. So she says that, and then she boos me. So every time they announce my name at a game, she boos me. At the state tournament, when they gave me my plaque, she booed me on the field while I walked out to get my plaque. She just says, She always says, "Jenny Rollins," to the field crew. She always says that. She thinks that's like super funny. Yes, she boos me all the time. No one has said that about. But I'm going to go through a few of the things that stood out this year. One was summer workouts. Dude, Emma and Clara on a box jump, that's like something to be witnessed, just FYI. They have busted that box jump, and there's some bruises in there. Team building. So we go somewhere every year, and we decided to go to Eufaula this year because it has the obstacle course. And we pulled up to the cabin in the woods. And my husband went so I could see my kid because we were going to be gone for like 5 days or something that week. And I'm going to tell on you. Jimmy says, Coach Price is staying in the same room with us. I'm not staying on one of those. This is where people disappear. And I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Have you ever watched a scary movie? I am not staying in a room by myself. People disappear from places like this." And I was like, okay. But it was like looked like something was built a long, long time ago, you know, like state parks are, and no one may have stayed there since like the 70s, I don't know, whatever. The air conditioners were a little on edge. The plastic mattresses that they laid on. They also don't understand that when you have a window unit and you go in and out of the door 900 times, it lets all the air out. So they go in and out, in and out, in and out, and they'll be like, it's so hot in here.
Literally 90 degrees in our room.
That's cold.
Our room
Boy, we were freezing.
Okay, but I do a check at like, I don't know, sometime early in the morning, 2, 3, something like that. These fools ate so much food in the 3 days we were there. When we got there, there was this table like back there just covered in snacks. When we left, we packed a box like this big of leftover things, and they probably ate it on the bus on the way home. But I walk in their rooms, and there's just food, like, which they're not supposed to have in their cabin, everywhere. They're sneaking out and getting cheese balls and like, everything to like maneuver and get back there. So I just wrote down a few things from team building. Annie's pottery making. Annie made like clay sculptures all over on the edge over the lake. Clara's mud bath. Gamble's overexposure. Hide and seek. Sarah had to run in with a bag. The obstacle course was on water, and then they had a pit where they could play volleyball. We've never counted to 30 so many times in our entire lives. We were just counting heads the whole time. They had lifeguards, but we were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd be like, I only have 28. And then Jimmy's counting, and Hillary's counting. We just counted to 30 the whole time we were there. We didn't really get to enjoy it very much. Well, Coach Price. She bit it. Aisha looked like she was barely keeping her head above water. We had to keep a close eye on her. She had a life jacket. She was just like barely surviving out there. They said they enjoyed the sign language game, and we had a dance off. We put them in groups.
Oh my God.
And Clara and Lee became really good friends that night. We saw some things you can't unsee during that. But it was very memorable. Yes. What? I did allow Michelle and Clara, who else was in there? Emma, to put me in a boat, and my child was in it also, and they took me out way far across the lake area, and I was like, I think I'm gonna need you to take me back, and they were like, no. Okay, we have to go back now. Then they couldn't figure out how to get me back because they don't know how to paddle. But broken arrow tournament. Everybody bought underwear this year. Michaela bit it sliding down the hill, going back to the hotel because of the rain. That was good stuff. I turned 50 at Ted's this year. Whitney Waldy almost lost her eyebrow that day. That weekend. It was a close call. Then some things from the year. Hannah, stomach pains, hospital. Nope. Hannah. Coach Price is Amish, and she knows how to churn butter. Yes, she lives in Amish country. Whoever makes brownies around here, there were a whole lot of brownies eaten this year. Coach Lucas. Coach Lucas threw Maddie Lee's Evo shield on top of the building where the bathrooms are on the field, and Maddie thought she was going to get in trouble because it was up there, so we told Shayla she had to go carry the big ladder out and climb up there and get it, and she was freaking out. But we rode that out until she actually had the ladder down there, and Gamble saved her and climbed up there instead. Yes. She was like panicky. We were like, too bad we didn't throw up there either, look at it. Annie, when she had extra ventilation in her pants, that what time were we supposed to be there? 11:04 or 5:05, whichever you prefer. We always say Aisha's here, because Aisha announces her presence. Claire's famous quote is, "Don't tell my mom." Guys, don't tell my mom. And I think she still has pink spray paint in her hair from Pink Out, actually. Some of the girls said, remember when Coach Lucas quit because Coach Rollins wouldn't sit by her? That's great. And bus parking at OSU. Guys, that was embarrassing. Coach Price can't drive a bus, but Coach Price,
You run into curves.
Yeah, you do it.
she does. She doesn't think she does.
Yeah, on the highway.
We got to OSU and they told us to park north of the field, so we pulled over in this car and I tell her from down the road, oh yeah, you could 3-point turnabout the big white bus. You could 3-point turnabout that thing in there and get it right back out. No big deal. We'll just face the road, we'll pull it right back out. She's like, okay, we have all the kids on the bus. We pulled it in, we got it turned this way. And we were touching the fence on this side and the fence on this side. Well, when you put those things in reverse, they beep. So we're just sitting out there. Bing, bing. So we got out, and I was like, we might not get out of here. Like, we're gonna have to run over this fence. Like, we're just gonna have to knock it down. And she's like, okay. But first, we tried to cut it, tear the fence down, and we couldn't. Yeah, we tried. And then our next option was we were gonna run it over. So we got the kids off the bus, and we sent them to the field. So we could run over the fence and we wouldn't have witnesses. So, hey, it's fine, the bus is fine, and now we can tell on ourselves. So the whole time the kids are walking across the field, we're beeping because we're in reverse. And we moved that thing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then we couldn't get it out. So we pulled it forward, and there's about a foot width, maybe wider than the bus on each side, and I made her back that thing all the way out to the road between other buses and trucks. And the entire time, she's beeping. You can hear it on the field across the street. The whole time. So the guy from OSU walks over and he's like, I think maybe you guys should park at the elementary school that's like a mile away. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. And then just walk over. We spent so much time out there, we finally got it out and turned around. We spent so much time out there that when we walked into the complex, they announced, we need to line up from Westmore. That's how long we were in the bus, beeping the entire time. So we've had a few little bus parking incidents, but as far as this team goes overall, like we're losing 2 and we're bringing back a lot, and we have more coming. And I'm really looking forward to what they're going to do. But this is more than just softball. Like, they're a fun group of kids to be around, for the most part. They enjoy each other. There wasn't like a lot of drama, anything like that. They just showed up, they played, they did everything we asked of them. They cheered each other on, even when people were like playing over them or they were splitting time with people. They were the #1 cheerleaders in the dugout. And I think that's what it takes. Like, you have to be just okay with doing your part. And we went back and looked. This team had 5 losses this year. Everybody we lost to was in the state tournament. We lost to Sand Springs once. We lost to Yukon once. We lost to Owasso once. And we lost to Edmond North twice, but not when it counted. He actually came up to me today in one of the meetings, the Edmond North coach, who does not pass out compliments. And he said, I wanted to tell you that your girls did a really good job. He said they made adjustments to my pitcher that no one made all year. And once I saw that they made that adjustment, like, that was all we had. That was my plan, is to go from the first to the second, and they hit her harder than anybody else this hit her all year. And so that is a testament to you and your work ethic and what you've done. And so this ends up being the first state championship team in Westmore High School history. There were also some I do know Hannah Harrison is the District 2A, 6-2A Pitcher of the Year. What else do I know? Kaylee Gable made the All-District team. Ainsley Linda made the All-District team. Janelle Marwitz made the All-District team. Michaela Franks made the All-District team. Claire Skaggs made the All-District team. And then Michaela Franks this afternoon made the All-Region team and will be up for nomination this weekend for the All-State team. So, here's the thing. They try to limit the number of people you have on here, and I was getting voted out of stuff because I had a kid for every position, and they were getting angry with me. They're like, Ron, do you have another one? You have another one? I was like, yep, I got one for any spot you want to throw out there. I've got one. 2 for some of them, so whatever you want to do. So, in all actuality, like, we have 10 or 11 kids who could fill any of these positions and are comparable to any of these kids. But there's only one team in all of 6A who did not end with a loss this year, and that is these guys. So get ready, because next year, everybody expects you to do it again. But it means you have to work harder, and you have to be better, because everybody's going to be out to get you. So congratulations, because they can never take the first one away. Oh, let me say thank you. Paige Lee and Miss Swearingen, and I don't know who all else. So, Stephanie Campbell, they did concession, and like I always say, anybody who does Sam's runs deserves like a standing ovation, because that's terrible. And concession stands and taking care of meals and all that kind of stuff, and banquet and all of those things, which take time and are exhausting and extra and so much stuff, and we appreciate all the time you and all whoever helped you. It kind of goes unnoticed, and people just think things just happen, and they don't. There's always somebody doing it, and so I appreciate all of the stuff that you guys did for us this year. All right, we'll watch your video.
3 grand, what you think I'm playing? Baby girl, I'm the man, I do rubber band. This right here is my pretty boy swag. 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 Spell my name when I pretty boy swag. 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 Sway, girl, scream my name when I free boy sway. So get out the way. Fred boy coming through. Me and my crew be swagging in the room. Girls on me heavy 'cause I look so sexy. Yellow diamond shawty in the club straight flexing. So I'm looking for a yellow bone, long hair star, thick in the hips. Come get in my car. So you're party with a star. We take off and go to Mars. Pretty boy take off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This right here is my song. All the girls are on me. So everybody pay attention. This right here is my pretty boy swag. Pretty boy swag. Pretty boy swag. Pretty boy swag. Sweat. I'm pretty boy swag in the club I feel safe. Shawty but my chest is straight first. Like tatted on my neck. Shawty said she choosing drugs. She got a knife and a fat boom. Took her to my condo. Let the girl strip. Then she got naked. Then she pretty girl dip. Shake that. She pretty girl dancing while a pretty boy swag got this. Right here is my swag. All the girls are on me. Swag. Everybody pay attention. This right here is my pretty boy swag. Pretty boy swag. Pretty boy swag. Pretty boy swag. Girls on my when I pretty boy swag. Girls scream my name when I pretty boy swag. Watch me pretty boy swag. Pretty boy swag. Pretty boy swag. Pretty boy swag. Girls on my when I pretty boy swag. Girls scream my name when I pretty boy swag. Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best. You can be the King Kong laying on your chest. You can beat the world, you can beat the wall. You can drop the guy, go bang on his ball. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you go by yourself. In the Hall of Fame, gonna know your name. Cause you put it on the Hall of Fame.
want to know things we don't. They were fun, and I got really excited watching this. Like, that was a good time. Let's do that again. I don't think, they always tell me that I don't show a lot of emotion, and I always look the same at third base, whether we're winning or losing. I just look the same all the time. It's a gift. I did not look the same during that championship game. That yelling face, like that was me like almost the entire time. I was like somewhere else over there. But the energy and what these kids bring to this program is something special, and I look forward to doing it again with you next year. So, Jags on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Jags.